and welcome to our podcast. I'm Stephanie,
I'm Yolinda.
and we are the Cozy Chicas, and welcome to our first podcast. What are we going to do, Yolinda? What are we going to talk about on our podcast?
Well, I think we should talk about what we can see and smell outside, those fires.
I know it's scary right now, what's going on. Uh, we're about like 30 minutes difference from each other. You're south, I'm more north, and I just got the warning about the smoke in our area from 10 a.m. to like 8. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous about that. How you feeling about it?
Well, I didn't even notice that was happening until, like our group chat said something about that. And I didn't believe it because there was no sign until I drove further south towards the Keys where it's happening.
Hmm.
And then it's just like a bunch of smoke in the air. And I was there today. It wasn't that strong, but later on, like you could just hear all the fire trucks, all the policemen. The sky was orange. There was ash or soot falling from the sky. It was pretty intense.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And just from the images you've seen from the last days on the news, it just reminds you of the fires in California. And, a friend of mine, she lived there and she was going through that. And I'm like, wow, this is now like in her neighborhood. Luckily, our fire department, our city has been very active on it, and their
Just going
best.
at it, like fire truck after fire truck.
Yeah, here, well, we have the airport nearby here. So, well, the executive airport, the private one. So, I'm used to hearing planes already, but now I'm hearing them more often. So,
Yeah. For reference, we're like a bit further south of Miami, like between
yeah,
Miami and Homestead, that
Miami,
area, Kendall-ish.
yeah, in the suburbs, in the suburb area. We consider the more tranquilo side, less places where we can hide from traffic a little bit because you have to calculate where you go in Miami because if you got to go somewhere that's like 30 minutes away, but if there's traffic, it could be 45 minutes to almost an hour with really bad traffic.
Oh no, for
So,
real. Like I live, or when I was with my parents, 5 minutes from the mall, with no traffic. If there's traffic, give it 10, 15 minutes. It's insane. Too many people here.
yeah. And there's more people coming, especially with spring break happening next week. We already have people coming in to come to Miami Beach and but we can definitely talk about that for another episode, which that's what we talk about. We talk about life. We talk about video games on our podcast. Um, what's life out there when it comes to like weird facts or, just things that are interesting
Just
that
normal
come up.
stuff that you talk about
So
with anyone, but with us.
yeah, yeah, with us, so we welcome everyone on our podcast, just to come and talk. We're just two good friends, and we like to play video games. We've known each other since high school, and then we got reunited after we
Yeah,
graduated college.
15, 16 years, right?
Yeah, but it feels like just yesterday when we met in that coding class that we took.
No, wait, we met
We
we
were
met
just
in a
being nerds.
computer class, and then we went to a coding class, or,
Yeah,
or I don't remember.
yeah, yeah. It was like a virtual class for
They both have computers.
the yeah, computers. Yeah, I guess computer keeps us united, and thanks to Facebook, a Facebook memory reconnected after that. So here's a tip, everyone, if listening about life. Really good friendships will rekindle. And sometimes in the right moment when you need it the most.
Hmm.
And you can learn from each other at just the right time. I've learned from the past. Friends come and go, but what you learn from the relationship will always stick with you. You know.
Hmm.
So that's a little nugget. Like I heard somewhere, like a golden nugget of like advice. Some people would say.
I mean, we
There's a golden
experienced
nugget.
it. We didn't have to try too hard to like pick up our friendship again. It was just like, oh, okay,
No, no. Yeah, like it just feels like just yesterday.
yeah.
Like we were, just hanging out, even though if it was years or even like distance apart, it was okay. So,
And Steph is the responsible one. She's the the one that keeps me from
yeah,
doing stupid things.
people would say I'd be like the mom of the group. But I've had my fair share of mistakes, but I've owned up to it. We're not perfect, and I think we just have to give each other grace, when things happen. But we'll have a lot of different topics we're going to talk about on this podcast. That's going to be helpful. We understand like being Latinas and just growing up in Miami. It's an
Right.
adventure in itself.
Yeah.
We got it's a melting pot of different people. Um, and then, we both had experience about traveling, so we'll talk about that too and all these things. I'm gonna be having a trip next week on my mom's side from San Luis Potosí. I'm looking forward to that, and we'll save that adventure for upcoming podcasts.
Steph is hoarding adventures and information. She's saving it up.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's only been like a few minutes now, and we can't just say everything all at once. We have to have episodes, and we get it. You guys are probably busy doing stuff. You might be listening to us while you're doing some work, or you're maybe going on a walk.
Or maybe you should be
I personally
sleeping.
like listening to sleeping. Yeah, I personally like hearing podcasts while we walk. It's good, change it up a bit every once in a while.
I love listening to I forgot what they're called, but they just read Reddit stories. I just put the podcast on in the morning as I get
Oh,
ready for work. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's crazy. Bunch of crazy
well,
stuff on
that's
Reddit.
good. I can imagine Reddit's the place to see unusual or hear or know about things that are going on. Like I remember the first time I heard about Reddit was about um what was it called? The with the stocks and everything that was going on. The group.
You mean like
Um
AMC and stuff?
yeah, with AMC, all that
Oh,
stuff
that's
as they were,
recent
trying to
then.
buy the stocks. Well, no, not recent. I think it was like a year ago or a year and a half
Yeah,
ago.
that you heard
That
about
when
Reddit.
well, that's how yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
heard about Reddit because everyone's like, "Oh, did you hear about this group that was on the social platform named Reddit?" And I was like, "What is Reddit?"
I've been creeping on there
I
since
just think,
2012. Yes.
see,
Long
I didn't
time
even know that
lurker,
it
first
existed.
time post.
So, shall we share a little bit what we do so our listeners know who we are?
Yeah, sure, you can start off.
Okay, well, I have a business. I just started off ever since I was 16. I say my first business was selling cupcakes at my family's restaurant, and I've always had an entrepreneur spirit thanks to my grandmother. And so now I have like my own business with an Etsy store, sell cozy products and like, mugs, sweaters, and I help businesses with their social media platforms. So that's the beginning. That's just me.
She
And
sells
now we
cute
have you,
stuff.
Linda.
Um,
Yeah, stickers.
yeah, she's making me my stickers.
Mhm.
Basically, I'm a behavior analyst, so I work with kids. I don't really have any crazy job experience, I'd say. I've only ever worked at the hospital and as a photographer, and as with
Cool.
kids as an ABA therapist, pretty much. That's a whole thing. Those are just some crazy stories I have for that. That's a whole kind of worms. But but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I commend you for your work. You do a lot, especially working with kids. It's not easy, and then with their families, I've experienced that too. And you got to have a lot of patience and a huge heart to work with families because it's a lot to take in.
Mm.
Their emotions plus trying to right, Yolanda, if you can relate, right, like how you feel, like just trying to check in with yourself,
Oh my God, yeah, like I feel
with
like
your families.
I'm just like I can't be like you can't stay upset. You have to always try to be in a good mood. Obviously not fake it, but just try to let some things roll off so it doesn't weigh you down.
Yeah, like just take a moment, pause, and just like, okay, remind yourself why you're here, why you're doing this. On the tough days especially.
Hmm.
I think sometimes we forget, right, our why and why we do stuff. Like just even starting our career or like just doing the every day to day working, or staying true to that habit of like oh, I want to be on a diet. Oh, why am I doing this? Because I want to get ready for the summer or whatever may it be, right?
Oh, super
And then you're
relatable.
like, oh, but that cookie looks good.
It looks
Oh, that cookie
good.
looks good.
Oh my God, I was on
Oh, what?
Skinny Talk. It's so toxic. There's this thing you just reminded me. They're like, "Oh, you want a snack or do you want to look like a
Mm-hmm.
snack?"
I know.
It's toxic there.
You are what you eat, right? That's another phrase that they say.
No, it's toxic. Like there's some crazy stuff on there. There's one that I remember that's like, "Oh, what you eat in private shows up in public." It's crazy. Basically, like if
Wow.
you're eating bad,
Well,
like you're
even
gonna see it.
uh,
So I'm telling you. Well, TikTok is its own thing.
yeah, TikTok is its own. I personally not a huge big fan of TikTok. That's why I was like, you go ahead, do the TikTok, I'll do the Instagram. Like you enjoy your tablets. I like writing things down. So we have our two
You're
different
calling me
styles,
a
but then we
tablet
have
kid, an iPad baby.
no, but I mean I use my iPad too, but I just prefer writing things down. That's just me, like in journals and things like that. Because in tablets, I'll just lose it in all the multiple tabs. That's one thing we definitely have in
Oh
common. We have
yeah,
multiple tabs everywhere.
yeah. I have more than
Our
20 right
brain
now.
starts on one doing one thing. Oh, I have three so
Good
far
job.
for today. Less than my per usual. Multiple hats. So
But you have like 10 profiles though.
okay, maybe you sound like if I'm like a something. No, it's just because like I have different management. That's how I am able to like organize, handling social media platforms for one account, for client or my personal avenues as an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Now this is my own profile here for us with our Cozy Chicas podcast. So just to keep everything
I
organized,
should
because if
probably do
not,
that.
if I don't stay organized, I get stressed out, and then I'll then be like unmotivated to keep doing what I'm trying to stay focused on.
Oh, for sure. I
So
think we can have like Steph is one of the most organized people like I know. I'm one of the most disorganized people, so I think I can learn a lot if we just have a whole couple episodes about that.
yeah,
For sure.
and you remind me of just like you know it's okay to like make mistakes and like not to be so hard on myself, you know, and just to like go with the flow sometimes or just have a laugh in general when things go crazy.
Yeah,
Like
no, of
to be
course.
honest, like before setting up this podcast, I was a little stressed out. I was like, I don't know this program. I need to learn it like in 5 minutes, but we made it through. We figured it out. We're smart. We
Right?
figured
I
it out.
mean, those computer classes came in clutch.
Yeah, yeah, but we figured it out now. So now we're here. We're logged in so far. 13 minutes in our podcast, so not bad
13
for the
minutes.
first one.
Wow.
Yeah. hmm
By the way,
Yeah, because it wouldn't be 13 seconds.
yeah,
hmm
Steph is gonna have to keep me on track on the conversations because I'm just easily distracted, just for the record.
It happens.
A lot.
So don't worry. We can keep the flow going. So, this first podcast really to just sum it up. I know we talked a little bit about a certain, about the fire, what's going on down here in South Florida, and a little bit about us, what we do for you guys to just get to know us a little bit more. We are really, down to earth girls. We can be girly if we want, but we also play video games. So, and we'll definitely like talk about that. My husband introduced me to Zelda. I had never played it before, and now like what would you say? I'm like a pro now, I guess.
This stuff is
With the
about
20 hours invested in
I think you have like almost 200 hours in that or more.
more, yeah.
You're a
I mean,
professional at that point.
I have everything upgraded for Tears of the Kingdom. Now, keep in mind, Tears of the Kingdom is not an easy game for people that, especially with that engineering side of Tears of the Kingdom. Like they even have Tears of the Kingdom in for an engineering class in some universities that they give them as credit because you have to like engineer like your machinery and stuff like that in the game with Link. Um, and there's so much to do. I mean, I've only made like the first level of the Master Sword upgrade to do the third level is just a lot. So, but I recommend playing Breath of the Wild first, then play Tears of the Kingdom. Because when I first played Tears of the Kingdom, I was too overwhelmed.
Yes.
I was scared with the monsters and stuff. They look so creepy to me and all that. So I
The
was like,
Red
what do I
Moon.
do? What do I press? Yeah. Oh, isn't it the Blood Moon? No, Red
You
Moon,
would
right?
know, you got
I don't
that
know. I
first.
can't. Well, I played it so many times that I'm just like
I skip
I
it.
depending what. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I skip it when I can, and then I just go ahead and like been upgrading the clothing for Link, which is a lot of outfits he has. But yeah. So we will talk about what do you like to play, Yelena, so our listeners know what's your favorite game.
Um, well, I'd say my favorite game is Diablo. So, there goes that. A bunch of random games, like apps, Clash of Clans, obviously Diablo, Zelda. Actually need Stuff's help for Tears of the Kingdom because I didn't even know there was like a whole engineering aspect to it, like where you would have your, is it like a schematic or whatever that's called?
Oh yeah, the schematics with the Yiga clan, so that you need
Yeah, I didn't even know
to
about
it's like
that.
a blueprint, like you can
Exactly.
automatically level certain things to help you launch a rocket or something or fly, like an airplane and things like that to fly in the
There's a
game.
lot of games. There's a lot of good games. You should definitely get more into, I would say PC games or PS4 games. I like Baldur's Gate. Detroit.
Mhm.
It's one I want to introduce you to. You would love it. Becoming Human. Basically, you play as a robot. I don't want to spoil it for you, but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Like
Becoming
cyberpunk kind
Human.
of like setting.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Cyberpunk it's good, but it's different.
Hmm.
It's different.
When you say that, it kind of reminds me of a game my husband was telling me about, Metroid. I know he really likes that game. There's a new version of it coming out on the for I think next year. So they say the graphics are going to be really good.
Yeah, I heard of it, but I don't
It's like
know.
the protagonist is a woman. She like goes into space and she has to fight off aliens and all these things.
Oh,
From what
I'm
I
into
saw
that for sure
from
then.
yeah, it's a cool game. And then, but now I'm playing Link's Awakening. Like the two D version
Mm-hmm.
of Link. So there's like 8 temples, and so far got 4. So I'm still working on that. I took a break because that's like I had other things to focus on and set up. I didn't want to get too distracted because if I do, then I'll be gaming too much. Like the days just went.
I understand.
Have to be responsible. Yeah.
What about
So yeah,
shows?
hopefully shows. I like personally like sometimes rom-com. Like I've been watching Emily in Paris. The new season is gonna come out later this year. We haven't seen it yet,
It makes sense.
but
Steph is the queen of rom-coms. The dating
I
shows.
guess I'm just a hopeless romantic. So
I guess that's good. You've always
I mean,
been
come
a
on, we grew up
romantic.
watching, telenovelas and all that
No, okay,
since
okay.
we were
So
little.
for me, the telenovelas, like that wasn't romantic for me. I was just like, oh, like I just want big boobs like them. That was my thing. But Steph has definitely introduced me to a bunch of shows. What was the one? What was it? Love is Blind? Is it that one?
Oh yeah, Love is Blind. Yeah, with now they have Love is Blind in Germany and Switzerland and all these different places, even in Dubai.
Dubai,
But they
damn.
celebrated, I guess, yeah, I think it was like 8 years ago or something it started. I don't know. They had an anniversary on the last US one for Love is Blind,
Oh, it's been on for a while.
and they're talking. in the reunion. So pretty much like people are in pods and they fall in love through a wall. They don't see each other. They're just chit chatting. That pretty much sums up. And then they go through like the experience, and then they see if they want to get married or not. Some work, some don't. Some take a risk and participate in the show, and then they really truly find someone. And some of those couples are still together or forming their family. So
Yeah.
sometimes you never know. You might find the love of your life, like in the least unexpected place, like the right person.
Or Megan Fox,
So,
like that one girl said.
oh, oh yeah. Actually, they did a recap about that in the reunion because they were doing like memorable moments, and they brought that up as, I don't know, one of the top five memorable moments
Oh, for sure.
about that girl saying she looked like Megan Fox.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So, I mean, and the whole point there is to not like, if you're gonna fall in love with somebody, it's not gonna be based on looks, but well, that you admit that um value more the personality of the person or their logic or how they view the world, versus like their looks, right? Like looks is not very important to you because that's the whole point of the show is like, but
I
I
think
mean
that's
looks
the
is
point of the
important
show,
too.
but like at some points they're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
they
mean I
care.
mean
They
looks
care to an
helps,
extent.
right? I mean looks helps, I mean, but at the end of the day, like looks will fade. So, and people can change and improve and get better, if they're not satisfied with their own look. So, and things can happen. Everyone has a different story. That's why I say don't judge a book by its cover too quickly, because you don't know what's going behind closed doors for that person. You know, you don't know if their weight is a certain way because do they have a thyroid problem, or or they're in a journey in getting better, right? So,
Mhm. There's a lot of things.
everyone has something going through. hmm
There's a lot of things about that show. I mean, like, mhm, mhm.
And then a thing that I've always noticed is that people always act a certain way when there's cameras, and then when there's not.
Oh, of
You know.
course, of course. Literally in my job, like, the therapist will be with the kid and they'll be fine. Like, I used to be in their position as well. And me as a supervisor, I'd go, and because they see I'm there, they just act completely different. It's the
hmm
observer effect. It's just like a thing.
hmm
When you know that you're being watched, you're just naturally gonna act different. Imagine being on TV.
Yeah. Yeah. With like a lot of people and your whole family, the whole nation, maybe the whole world can see.
I mean, they signed up for
And
it.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I would never do that.
So,
Crazy.
I don't know. So yeah, but besides, like rom-com stuff, I'm into Marvel, DC, all those like action movies. Um, and I know you too, Yolanda. You like action movies. We've gone to a couple action movies with the group, and
hmm
fun.
I think I'd say I'm more into, I mean, just, you know, your good animes, your classic ones. I am like, Steph is the
Oh yeah,
rom-com, I'm the
yeah.
K-drama. Um,
I've seen those too. Love Alarm. I was so into that. The Love Alarm
I
K
actually
drama.
didn't see that one because it was too like romantic for me. It was too much. I love sci-fi. I'm obsessed with alien movies, space movies. I guess you get the gist. But yeah,
hmm
horror movies, but as long as it doesn't
Oh
have
no, no,
dolls,
no horror.
no dolls, please. No dolls, and I can't really handle demons.
Clowns, right?
I mean, clowns are they're just
Oh yeah, clowns.
creepy. They don't scare me, but dolls, like, I'll like see a picture of a doll and I'll just like feel weird.
Oh, oh, like Annabelle and whatnot. Like those are, yeah. No, no, no,
No,
no.
no, no,
Thank you.
no, no.
No creepy dolls.
Please no.
Okay, noted. Yeah, but no, I'm zero on here on like horror movies or anything like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I've never gotten her to watch a
Because then I
scary
can't
movie.
sleep. Porque si no, no puedo dormir. I can't sleep. Mm-mm.
No, don't get me started on the sleep
Why?
paralysis.
Why drink?
That's a whole podcast.
This is a good podcast in itself with your experiences on that one.
Oh,
But yeah, so definitely on this podcast, as you can see, like we're gonna jump on to different topics. We'll probably have like certain podcasts with like certain topics, and we'll tailor to the focus to that. And I'll do my best to keep us on focus here on the
please.
topics. But you definitely won't get bored on this podcast. Like you'll hear different things and learn something new. Hopefully, like I said, a golden nugget, right? Of advice or something that you can learn from. You get a little takeaway from our podcast. Hopefully, you can, while you're listening, cozy up with a good read, or just relax after a long day, or we can join you on your walk with the
Ah,
podcast
you're
in the morning,
cooking,
or if
getting
you're
ready, being irresponsible and not going to sleep and staying up. Go to bed.
go bed on time.
Hmm.
If, different things you can do. But Yolanda, so when are we gonna be releasing our podcast? Can you share with the audience listening in when we're gonna share a podcast? What day of the week?
Right now, we're gonna do Tuesdays. What's it called? Going down on a Tuesday? No, I'm kidding. Tuesdays at
No,
what? We're going up, my bad.
turning up. Oh
Going
my gosh, she
Tuesdays
lost her
at
sense of
7
direction, guys.
p.m.
Okay, at 7 p.m. we'll have a new podcast.
Yes.
That's our goal.
Hmm.
So, so I just want to say thank you, everybody. I see we're almost at 30 minutes, but I don't know if you want anything else you want to say, Yolanda, for our audience.
I guess join our journey. We've never done a podcast, obviously, and you're gonna experience how we develop and hopefully grow through this. And we would appreciate your feedback, any comments, anything, what you want us to talk about, who our audience is, like we're in our 30s, South Florida, Hispanics. And we're excited, we're pretty much doing this for fun. We're not expecting anything, but we're just
No,
trying to make it a hobby. So, well, it's nice to
yeah,
technically meet you
something
guys.
fun to share. Yeah. Hi. And we'd like to know where you're listening from. We have Instagram and we'll be on TikTok. So you can share, let us know where you're from, you'd like to know. Um, and yeah, like Yolanda said, let us know any topic and specific. Again, we mentioned travel, gaming, shows. We both have, different personalities, different likes. So if there's something you can relate to either one of us, it'd be great just to let us know.
Or maybe a topic neither of us knows about, and we can all just be
Yeah.
confused on the
And
podcast.
we or do some research and find out about a certain thing.
Definitely. Steph is very, very organized and into like really good life advice stuff. So she's a whole category in herself. So it'll be interesting.
Oh, thank you,
I have
Linda.
nothing useful to say, just theories and conspiracies. So
She does have useful stuff to say. She, she does.
thanks.
We help each
You
other
couldn't
out, and
even
that's what
say
a good
what.
friendship. Well, you remind me about life sometimes of like just taking a pause
Because I
and like, okay.
exist.
So here's a fun fact: we both deal with like anxiety, so we kind of like, help each other out with our anxiety of like, it's okay, it's gonna work out, and then we just dive into like a normal kind of like setting.
Yeah, we're about to just give you like our mental diagnosis right now. Maybe it's too soon. it's, it's too soon. We just met you guys, maybe 10 episodes in.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. Well, joining in, listening to us. Um, we'll eventually, be releasing more and more episodes as we go. This is our first.
Hmm.
So thank you for joining our first journey. We do appreciate it. And have a cozy night
Yeah. Have
from
a
the
nice
Cozy
day
Chicas.
or night.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Well, time will really fly.